You're watching the Alabama Weather Network.
This is the afternoon weather briefing. This is for Tuesday, the 23rd of September. This is James Spann. Had some huge rains earlier today over the Tennessee Valley, extreme North Alabama. Most locations have been dry today, but statewide, rain chances are going up in coming days. Let's begin with the upper air look, because this often tells a better story. The mid-latitude westerlies dropping to the south. There is a trough coming out of the Rockies. And a little impulse in that westerly flow aloft kicks off some pretty decent thunderstorms this morning. In fact, you can see that radar is suggesting that parts of eastern Limestone County between Elkmont and Harvest had almost 5 inches of rain this morning. For a while, parts of Limestone and Madison counties were under a flash flood warning. How about that for a rain event during the middle of drought conditions? But the bulk of that is out of here. We'll check the visible satellite view, and you can see for most of the state, it's partly to mostly sunny. And just a few small isolated showers over northeast Alabama. Got one around Gadsden here at mid-afternoon, but most locations are dry. Temperatures are in the 90s in many spots over the southern two-thirds of the state. Now, in the Tennessee Valley, temperatures are lower because of the morning rain. For example, Huntsville, 81. Muscle Shoals 85, but Birmingham is at 92, 92 for Montgomery and Geneva. Mobile coming in at 90 this afternoon. We'll check the watch warning map around the nation. Flash flood watches for parts of Arkansas and northeast Oklahoma. And there could be some pretty strong storms out in that zone. In fact, there's a little small level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk of severe storms southeast of Tulsa. For this afternoon and tonight, the broader risk running from West Texas into parts of the Tennessee Valley. Tomorrow, a marginal risk from South Texas into the Ohio Valley, and that does include a pretty good chunk of north and west and southwest Alabama, the dark green on that map. And again, that's a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk. Areas north of a line from near Millry to Verbena to about Heflin. And the main concern with the heavier storms, some hail and strong gusty winds. And then on Thursday, the heavier storms shifting to the south over the southern half of the state, south of Interstate 59. Same thing, the main concern on Thursday, hail and strong straight-line winds. This is the larger view for Thursday, that marginal risk running from South Alabama up the Atlantic coast all the way to Boston. We'll check rain for the next 7 days. And again, the numbers look good. Of course, this morning we had that rather interesting anomaly with some spots getting 3 to 4 inches over Madison and Limestone. But statewide, you can see most locations have a good chance of getting 1 to 2 inches of rain over the next 7 days. The bulk of that will be tomorrow and on Thursday. And for South Alabama, maybe some rain on Friday as well. And that's a good thing. This is the latest drought monitor. This product is released once a week. We'll get the next update Thursday morning. But the state is dry. We could certainly use that rain. So in the tropics, we have a trio. We have Hurricane Gabrielle. We have Invest 93L and Invest 94L. And again, those two waves, 93 and 94, lined up out in the Atlantic. We'll take a look at the big view, the satellite view. And again, you can see all three of those. Gabrielle at the top of the screen. Invest 93 in the lower latitudes off to the right, Invest 94L off to the left. And both of those waves have a pretty decent chance of developing, especially Invest 93. First off, a look at the track of Gabrielle. No change here, moving east away from Bermuda. And about the only issue in terms of any land would be the Azores Thursday night. And this thing becomes post-tropical, approaching Portugal by Sunday. So we'll look at modeling first off on Invest 93L. This is the wave that's about 900 miles east of the Leeward Islands. And it's going to follow the same path as Gabrielle. Moving northwest, then a turn to the northeast, east out to sea. This will not be a threat to the United States. The one closer to the Leeward Islands, again, this coming off the European, and many of the ensemble members do nothing with it, show no development at all. But a few bring a weak system up toward the Outer Banks or maybe east of there. Mainly is just a rainmaker by early next week. But again, it's going to be fighting a lot of issues, and I'm not so sure much happens here. But it's something to watch. But certainly this will not be a Gulf system. And I know you get that one outlier that brings it through Key West into the Gulf, but we toss out those outliers. We're just not concerned about either one of these, 93 or 94, becoming a Gulf system. In fact, this is the probabilistic outlook coming off the European global model. And again, you can see that nothing, zero in the Gulf for the next 10 days. This is valid through Friday of next week, October 3rd. All of the action will likely stay over on the Atlantic side. So, model fans, here we go. European model, 12Z run tomorrow at 4. And you can see that positive tilt trough north and west of the state. So, some dynamic forcing coming into play. And a cold front is out ahead of that as well. And the better chance of rain and storms by tomorrow afternoon, most likely in areas from Birmingham north and west. This is the high-resolution HER model. This is at 20Z. This is 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, showing a number of showers and thunderstorms over the northern third of the state. And with temperatures most likely getting up into the low 90s before they form, the air will be somewhat unstable. And with some dynamic forcing, we might see a few storms with hail, strong gusty winds tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. Thursday, the front pushes southward. The more organized batch of storms could be in South Alabama by Thursday afternoon. But again, no doubt tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night into Thursday, all of Alabama getting a good chance of at least one or two decent downpours. Heat levels come way down, we should mention, on Thursday, the high low 80s. So this is Friday, the better chance of any showers south of US 80 on Friday, south of Selma, Montgomery, Auburn, Opelika. The northern two-thirds of the state should be dry. Again, highs mostly low 80s. And Saturday, again, I think most of the state dry. There will be an upper low in the vicinity. The deeper moisture off to the east. So the better chance of rain, East Georgia and the Carolinas. There might be some rain for that Alabama-Georgia football game in Athens, Georgia, Saturday night. Keep that in mind. But again, for most of the state, the day dry with low to mid-80s. And pretty much the same thing on Sunday. That upper low is spinning around, and sometimes underneath that you might see a few isolated showers, but the more meaningful chance of rain will likely be off to the east. And the same thing on Monday, just isolated showers. And we note that feature right there. That would be Invest 94L. That could be a tropical storm at that point. Let's go to a week from today. This is Tuesday, September 30th. And again, you can see what would be Invest 94L, a tropical system, again, right here, well off the Atlantic coast. We're mostly dry Tuesday of next week. And again, the European really takes that tropical system and takes it back out to sea before touching the United States. But again, some of the ensemble members bring it close to the Outer Banks. So for our friends on the South Atlantic coast, they'll watch that, obviously. Let's go out 10 days. This is Friday, October 3rd. That tropical system is still hanging around east of the Outer Banks. And again, for us, it should be a pretty dry air mass. So I think a decent part of next week looking dry, but there could be a day or two with isolated showers, but nothing to suggest any really meaningful rain next week. Rain for the next 15 days. The mean here of the European ensemble, it's about 1 to 2 inches. This is between now and the 8th of October. Temperatures coming off the NBM, National Blend of Models, 91 tomorrow, and then 90s are gone for a while, hopefully for a long while. We've got low 80s Thursday and Friday, mid-80s for the weekend and through much of next week, lows mostly in the 60s. And again, some of the cooler pockets will likely see upper 50s over North Alabama Saturday and Sunday morning. Latest long-range guidance. This is for October 1st through October 7th. And again, a lot of the fall weather fans are just waiting on that first good morning with temperatures down in the 40s, crisp and cool. Leaves are falling and changing colors. Well, no, the pattern doesn't favor that yet. It'll get here. The pattern will flip. It always does, but this looks like temperatures could stay above average into the first week of October. Had a great time today at Aliceville High School in Pickens County. Also stopped by Shelton State Community College in Tuscaloosa. We love ACCS and what they do for this state, the Alabama Community College system. Tomorrow it's a 3-for-1 special. Westminster at Oak Mountain. I'll do a program there. And then Bruno Montessori School in Shelby County. Then a program for the senior adults at the church at Liberty Park. Thursday, going to be at Ranburne High School in Cleburne County for a program there. Friday, a homeschool group in Oxford, Cheehaw Homeschoolers. And looking forward to that. And I do not have the location for Friday Night Rivals yet. I'll probably find that out later today. But of course, as always, hey, we invite you to watch us on ABC 3340 News this evening. And don't forget, you can catch my forecast every day on great radio stations around the state, including at Birmingham Classic Rock 106.9. Thanks for watching. Have a marvelous Tuesday evening, and God bless.